Two men, same city, Milan, same Wednesday night. One of them just moved here from abroad, a millionaire who pays a flat tax of $200,000 a year, no matter how many millions he actually makes. The other was born here, has a university degree, and works for $9 an hour with no contract. Same espresso bar, completely different countries. This is what every pay level in Italy really looks like, from the millions scraping by to the billionaires of Milan. And by the end, you'll know exactly which one you are. But before, let's find out 3 interesting facts about money in Italy. 1. Italy is the only country in the EU where real wages are actually lower than they were in the 1990s. Germany and France grew over 30%. Italy went backwards. 2. In 2023, 21,000 young Italians left the country, 57 every single day, while 3,600 millionaires moved in. 3. This is the country that builds Ferraris and pays its teachers about $1,650 a month, and it's home to the most expensive shopping street on earth. Drop a number in the comments, 1 to 7, for the level you're at right now. We'll come back to it at the end, and I'll show you how to reach the next one. Now let's see what money really looks like here, starting at the bottom. This is the level nobody puts on a postcard. 5.7 million Italians take home less than $935 a month. Seasonal workers, interns, a huge slice of the South. At this level, you're not earning, you're surviving, maybe topped up by the state's inclusion allowance. Your life is a room in a shared flat for $300 to $500 a month, groceries strictly from Eurospin or Lidl, pasta for 50 cents and a jar of sauce for 80. There's one thing that saves you here, and it's huge. Healthcare is free. Italy's public system is ranked one of the best on earth, so unlike America or Switzerland, getting sick won't bankrupt you. But here's the north-south split that runs through this entire video. In Milan, this income is impossible. You simply cannot exist on it. In Naples or Palermo, where a room is $300 and a coffee is €1, you can technically scrape by. Same country, 2 completely different survival games. And the trap is the same everywhere. There's no exit door. You can't save what you never touch. Now let's step up.
Level 2. The grind.
This is the working class, the cashier, the waiter, the security guard, the junior office worker. And this is where Italy's geography becomes everything. In Milan, a 1-bedroom runs $1,300 to $2,200, more than your entire paycheck. Living alone here isn't hard. It's mathematically impossible. So you do what millions do. You get coinquilini, flatmates, or you just never leave home at all. And here's the number that says everything about modern Italy. The average Italian doesn't move out of their parents' house until they're 30. Now go south. In Naples, that same job pays a little less, but rent is $500 to $700, pizza is $5, and life is actually livable. This is the rent trap with an Italian twist. In the north, the money's bigger, but the rent eats all of it. In the South, the rent is cheap, but the jobs aren't there. Either way, you're stuck. That's not living, that's holding on. So let's keep climbing.
Level 3. The comfortable trap.
Now the air changes a little. This is the teacher, the nurse, the administrator, the junior engineer. And here's the gut punch. A teacher in Italy, a trained professional shaping the next generation, takes home around $1,650 to $1,950 a month. In the country that builds Ferraris, you can rent a small 1-bedroom on the edge of a city, shop at Coop or Conad, eat at the local trattoria on a Friday for $12, take 1 holiday a year inside Italy. By Italian standards, you've made it. And that's exactly the trap, because by European standards, you're underpaid for the exact same work. This is where the brain drain begins. The nurse, the engineer, the designer all run the same math. The same job in Germany, the Netherlands, or the UK pays 2 to 3 times more. So they leave, $21,000 a year. In the north, you feel underpaid. In the south, you can't even find the job. And that quiet thought, maybe my future isn't here, is the most expensive thought in Italy. Which brings us to the level everyone's chasing. And it's where this whole video flips.
Level 4. The tipping point.
This is it. The Italian median, around €2,700 a month gross. That's roughly $2,000 to $2,300 net. The mid-career engineer, the IT specialist, the university professor. This is the level everyone thinks is comfortable. Here's why they're wrong. On paper, life is good. A 2-bedroom in a decent part of Rome or Milan, restaurants 2 or 3 nights a week, a trip abroad once or twice a year, and a nice Italian bonus. You actually get paid 13 times a year, not 12. An extra paycheck every December by law. So what's the problem? Try to buy a home. The average apartment in central Milan costs over $6,000 per square meter. A normal 70 square meter flat runs around $435,000. On a median salary, even with a mortgage, that's more than 30 years of paying. You earn more than half the country, and you still can't buy an average apartment in your own capital. And here's the cruel part. Go south, where you could actually afford that flat, and the salary that got you here doesn't exist. This is where people stop blaming themselves and realize the math just doesn't math. Everything below this line is survival. Everything above it is strategy. And if this is the level you're stuck at right now, good job, doing everything right and still can't get ahead. Drop it in the comments. This is the exact level where the game changes, and I want to walk through how to move up. Let's figure it out together. Because the next level is where money finally starts working for you instead of the other way around.
Level 5. The freedom zone.
Now the air gets thinner. This is finance, law, senior IT, the lawyer on $5,000 a month, the senior developer, the specialist doctor. You can finally rent a great apartment in a great neighborhood, do aperitivo whenever you feel like it, fly abroad 2 or 3 times a year, and spend weekends at Lake Como like the postcards promised. You're actually saving and investing now. But every level has its trap, and here it's comparison. Because in Milan, this is the income where you start mixing with fashion, design, and finance. People for whom your $5,000 a month is pocket change. Suddenly the salary that felt like freedom feels small, just because of the room you're standing in. In most of Italy, this is genuinely rich. In central Milan, it's just the price of admission. The finish line is still 2 floors up.
Level 6. The upper game.
Now we're in a different world. Top management, law firm partners on $200,000 plus a year, senior bankers. Money mostly stops being the limit. You've got the apartment in central Milan, where a square meter runs over $12,000, so a nice flat is well over $1 million. Weekends in Portofino and on the Costa Smeralda. The Aperol Spritz quietly gets replaced by a bottle of Barolo. Kids in private school. And yes, this is Italy. Maybe a Ferrari or a Maserati in the garage. But there are 2 traps up here. The first is the tax trap. Cross €50,000 a year and you're taxed at 43%. And with regional taxes, your effective rate climbs past 50. Hold that thought, because it sets up the most Italian injustice of all. The second is the time trap. You can buy almost anything now, except the hours back. In most countries, this is clearly rich. In Italy, it's rich too, but it's the last rung before a level that plays by completely different rules.
Level 7. The 1%.
And then there's the top, the real top. Milan alone has 17 billionaires and 115,000 millionaires. And here's where that injustice lands. Remember the teacher paying her full taxes? The doctor handing over half his income? A foreign millionaire who moves to Milan pays a flat tax of €200,000 a year, total, no matter how many millions he makes abroad. That's why, in 2025, 3,600 millionaires moved into Italy. In the same year, 21,000 young Italians moved out. Life up here is a villa on Lake Como, the kind George Clooney owns. A yacht off Sardinia's Costa Smeralda. Michelin dinners on a normal Tuesday. Shopping on Via Monte Napoleone, officially the most expensive retail street on the planet. more expensive than Fifth Avenue or the Champs-Élysées. But even here there's a trap: complacency. The ones who stay at the top aren't the ones who spend the most. They're the ones who turned money into more money, quietly, while they sleep. Which is, weirdly, the exact same lesson as the very first level, just with a lot more zeros. So here's the truth that runs through every single level. The intern felt broke. The teacher felt broke. The engineer on the median salary felt broke. And honestly, some of the rich feel it too, because the number was never really the point. Wealth isn't your salary. Wealth is the gap, what you earn minus what you spend. A young Italian who saves 100 a month is doing something the millionaire who spends every euro never learned to do. And in a country where the system itself can feel rigged, where staying loyal can cost you and leaving can save you, the one thing nobody can tax is your gap. So look at the number you dropped in the comments at the start. That's where you are. Now the only question that actually matters: which level do you want to be? And how wide is your gap right now? Because the payslip is not the scoreboard. The gap is. If this changed how you see money even a little, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. I'll see you in the next one.